think this is a big win for the prosecution. It really works both ways. Ano? Hindi nangangahulugan na porket ito ay pinabuksan, hindi nangangahulugan na meron na talagang guilt.
Maraming salamat sa summary, Susan. At sa pagpapatuloy nga po ng impeachment trial, tila nagkakainitan na ang ibang mga senador. Nakakasunod pa kaya mga kapuso natin o nakakasunod pa kaya ang mga kapuso natin sa itinatakbo ng impeachment court?
Maganda na rin po yung daloy ng impeachment. Mas okay na po kasi natuloy na po talaga yung impeachment.
Kawawa naman yung ibang nadadaganan na problema na hindi na nasusulisundan. Sana matapos na lang.
Napaka-unprofessional nila. Gumawa sila ng maraming batas na mas makapagpaayos ng bansa natin kaysa yung mga personal issues nila.
Mapakita sa atin na maging transparent tayo para mas pagkakatiwalaan tayo ng mga tao.
Kung wala naman tinatago, mas hindi buksan.
Yan ang ating pag-uusapan, lilinawin at hihimayin. On record sa unang hearing. At makakasama po natin muli ngayong umaga, Professor Froilan Calilong, Political Analyst mula sa University of Santo Tomas. Professor, welcome back. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Ivan. Good morning din po sa lahat ng ating mga taga-subaybay. Thank you for having me again.
We are on record now, Professor. Pinakamalaking balita nga po sa impeachment trial kahapon ang pagpabor ng impeachment court sa pagsumpina sa peso-denominated bank at tax records si VP Sara at asawa niya si Attorney Man Scarpio. Pati yung mga peso-denominated accounts ng 19 corporate entities na iniugnay kay VP Sara. Ano po magiging implication nito sa kaso? Pakipaliwanag nga po sa ating mga manonood, anong ibig sabihin nito and is this what you would consider a win for the prosecution?
Well, definitely, I think this is a big win for the prosecution, primarily because this will really open the lid, particularly doon sa second article ng ating impeachment, which is, of course, patungkol doon sa tinatawag nating unexplained wealth. No? So, kinakailangan kasi nila talaga itong gawin para talaga ma-establish yung baseline. Kaya kung titingnan natin, yes, the defense is actually arguing bakit daw kailangan pang isama yung 2007, bakit hindi yung 2022 lang nung siya ay Vice President. Pero malinaw ang naging position dito ng prosecution that they really would want to establish yung baseline. So kailangan makuha yung historical referencing para maipakita nga yung gradual increase ng kanilang wealth. No? And then kung meron masasabi ditong parang manifestation ng parang bigla ang paglobo, maaring ito yung titignan ng ating prosecution panel. Pero we need to understand also that itong victory naman na to, is a victory in a sense dahil doon lamang sa sense na inayaan ng korte
Yes.
ng impeachment court or impeachment tribunal na buksan yung kanyang records, particularly yung kanyang peso records, pero hindi naman nangangahulugan ito na talagang masasabi natin na meron na talaga kaagad guilt. Mahalaga lang talaga pong makita to. So the defense can still try to come up with their own objections. They could even argue regarding the admissibility of this record still, or they may even go to the Supreme Court to actually contest this ruling of the Senate Tribunal.
Naging mainit nga po yung debate kahapon bago umabot dyan sa desisyon na yan, lalo na doon sa usapin ng confidentiality. May magkasalungat na posisyon as expected. Sabi ng depensa, kalakip ng due process na ang bawat nasasakdal ay maprotektahan ng mga batas. Ang dagdag pa nila, if we issue a subpoena, we are compelling officials to violate the law. Ang sabi naman ng prosecution, kailangan daw makita ang big picture, yung buong larawan ng kinita ng VP at ang subpoena ang tayong paraan para makuha yung datos na yan. In the words of counsel, Kong Chel Jokno, confidentiality cannot trump accountability. Your take on these positions, Professor?
Well, kasi kung titingnan man natin, Ivan, nakasaad naman talaga dito sa Bank Secrecy Law, Republic Act 1405, that the secrecy actually is not applicable, especially in cases involving impeachment. So definitely, mas nananaig talaga rito yung accountability, And I think tama yung position dito ng prosecution. Yes, meron tayong tinitingnan dito talaga na due process, pero kinakailangan din natin sigurong analisahin na yung parte rin naman ng due process ay yung paglalatag nga ng mga tamang ebidensya, And I think primarily ito yung gusto talagang tukuyin dito ng ating prosecution. But I hope that hindi talaga siya yung tipong magiging fishing expedition na kumbaga they will blow things out of proportion na pagkakahalintulad ng nangyari doon sa kaso ng dating Chief Justice Renato Corona, and I hope that the defense will also try to come up with good points regarding the admissibility of this particular documents and kung ano lamang talaga rito yung pwedeng tignan. And I think it's also a good thing that the Senate Tribunal, particularly the presiding officer, naggawa na siya ng ruling regarding this, na ini-exclude nga yung offshore accounts ng ating kalawang Pangulo. Gayon din naman na yung pagbubukas ng kanyang AMLAC records will be done in private. And I think this is a good thing, para kahit paano maipakita rin naman yung pagprotekta at yung pagkilala doon sa karapatan ng nasasaktan.
At saka sa pananaw po siguro ng ordinaryong tao, the harder that the defense tries to prevent the exposure of or yung paglalabas itong mga datos sa ito, the stronger the suspicion becomes na baka may tinatago.
Yes, tama po yun. I agree with that. Kaya nga it really works both ways. Hindi nangangahulugan na porket ito ay pinabuksan, hindi nangangahulugan na meron na talagang guilt. Maaari pa nga itong magamit ng depensa para sabihin na talagang hindi naging disproportionate yung paglaki o paglago ng yaman ng ating kalawang Pangulo over the years. Kasi unang-una, matagal din naman na panahon ang tinitignan natin dito. Pangalawa, she has the means to do so, presumably because pareho silang mag-asawa ay abogado, so maaari naman talaga na maipakita rin nila na mayroon talagang ganitong paglago ng kanilang yaman. Mahalaga rin siguro na tingnan natin yung 2007 because I believe this is the year that they got married. Kumbaga yung principle of conjugality dito na talaga papasok.
Professor, I need to digress a bit and ask what you think of the personalities making the arguments. On the one hand, you have Kong Chel, very calm, very clinical. And then you have the Cayetano siblings, very passionate and animated. Kahapon po, si Senator Pia tried to exude a calmer demeanor and was even quick to add na fair siya, wala siyang kinikilingan. Pero ito mga ganitong balitaktakan, gaano ba kahalaga ang personalities and their demeanor in a trial like this?
Yes. I think very, very important because this really forms part of the sidelights, kumbaga nitong pagdinig na to. Yung personalities po kasi, especially those na involved dito, the legal counsel, senator judges, they really form a very, very integral part nitong proceeding na to. Kasi hindi lang naman tayo nakasentro doon sa mga legal terminologies or sa mga legal technicalities or sa mga legal arguments, pero tinitignan na natin yung demeanor ng bawat isa. Because this is an important mechanism or an important way para makita natin ano ba yung positioning ng bawat isa. So para sa mga legal purists, siguro yung pagsasalita ni Chel Diokno, I think really is a good thing for them, dahil nga it's very calm, composed, at meron talaga siyang sinasabi na talagang technically aligned with legal precepts. Yun namang sa mga Cayetanos, I think it appeals more to the viewing public because it's very emotional and very passionate.
Yes.
So both ways, or both of them actually will capture a particular target audience. And I think this is very important in this impeachment proceeding kasi alam naman natin that the public is not isolated from this particular proceeding at mahalaga rin naman yung public opinion na nabubuo natin along the line.
Speaking of sidebars, Professor, marami na ngayon nangyayari sa impeachment trial. Marami rin ang nangyayari off the impeachment court, ika nga, with senators, judges, having their own sub-battles, if I may use the word, among themselves. Pinakamainit nga dyan yung palitan na akusasyon ni Senador Cayetano, Senador Lacson at Senador Tulfo. How is this affecting the trial at ano kaya implication nito na among the senator judges may ganyang friction?
Well, may malaking epekto, unang-una, syempre, I think itong klase ng ganitong pagdinig, which is really a high-stakes trial proceeding, I think should be insulated from their personal differences primarily, no? Kasi I believe meron naman talagang proper venue and proper forum for that, no? And alam naman natin na yun nga medyo limitado rin yung oras pagdating dito sa impeachment, and I think hindi dapat siya nagagamit for settling of these personal differences or grandstanding. I think we really need to remain focused on what the impeachment is all about. I believe that there's really a proper venue for this. Pero kasi ang mahalaga din natin tignan dito, dahil nga nakafocus dito yung sambayanan, maaring nagagamit ito ng mga parehong kampo, para talaga ilatag yung kanilang mga opinyon at yung kanilang mga pag-atake sa bawat isa in order for them to be able to score some kind of points, in relation or within the purview of public perception. And I think to them, ito nga yung ginagamit nilang avenue or paraan para ipakita to. Although, yun nga, I believe it's not supposed to be the case.
Prof, there is also this looming possibility. We don't know how likely, pero a possibility nonetheless. Buhay yung posibilidad na magkakaroon pa ng senator judges na makakasuhan and technically, posibleng maaresto. Senator Cayetano gustong ipakulong ni Senator Ping over ghost projects daw in Taguig. Senator Padilla may obstruction of justice na kinakaharap. How do you think would this scenario play out?
Well, mahalaga na makita natin unang-una kung ano yung klase ng mga kaso na isasampa, kasi kung halimbawa simpleng obstruction of justice, and if it will not really constitute imprisonment of more than 6 years, meron namang legislative immunity from suit na kinikilala ang ating saligang batas. Pero kung halimbawa mabibigat na kaso kagaya ng plunder, maaaring mauwi ito sa pag-aresto kagaya ng nangyari kay Senator Dante Marcoleta, ganun din kay Senator Jingo Estrada. So we need to really look at the cases that are going to be filed. And I think it's also imperative na tignan natin dito. I think the next target is really Senator Alan Peter Cayetano with the pronouncements made na nga by Director Matibag sa NBI doon sa investigation doon sa SEA Games. And then at the same time, ito nga, mayroong na mga mukhang gustong palutangin sa Senator Ping Lacson. And nakikita natin dito na medyo masigasig talaga and very aggressive yung nandito sa prosecution, presumably because they know that the administration will actually back them up. And they know that Senator Alan Peter Cayetano is very, very vocal in this impeachment trial. And so, maaring siya talaga yung maaring next target dito. Pero titingnan natin how will this play out. I really hope that both camps will remain glued to what their purpose and their intent is, why they are here in the first place in the impeachment trial. Siguro mahalaga na matapos muna to before anything else.
Nandito pa rin tayo, Prof, sa face ng trial na nakaka-alienate sa ordinaryong tao eh. Hindi maintindihan at ang hirit nga ni Senator Alan, you cannot argue legal concepts with a non-lawyer. Sinabi pa niya. And then there's the presiding officer, Senator Cheese, making these rulings na para bang seasoned magistrate. But again, what do you make out of this? And should the impeachment court loosen up, ika nga? Siguro exert more effort to get more people to understand what's going on?
Yeah, I actually believe in that, Ivan, because I think it's imperative na malimanize natin kung ano ba talaga itong mga nagiging mga terminologies na ginagamit, technicalities na inilalatag dito sa ating impeachment court. Because remember, like I said a while ago, we cannot isolate the public. We cannot ostracize them from this impeachment trial because this pertains to accountability, which is, of course, very, very much a hallmark of our democratic principles. So, kinakailangan an informed people and a knowledgeable public, I think, is better equipped to be able to give their opinions on matters. So, yes, it's true, hindi naman talaga lahat bihasa dito sa mga proseso na to. Kaya kinakailangan po talaga natin ng mas malalim na pagpapaliwanag. Maaring idaan ito through social media, through media. Of course, very, very important po ang inyong ginagawa ng papel dito, kung paano natin mas mailalatag in a language, in a demeanor na mas maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan. And I think mas magiging holistic yung ating magiging batayan ng ating konkretong paninindigan bilang mamamayan kung naunawaan at naiintindihan natin yung mga kaganapan na nandito sa impeachment natin.
And with that, Professor, magpapasalamat kami sa inyo for helping us, help our viewers understand what's going on in this impeachment trial. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Professor Froilan Calilong, sir.
Salamat po at mabuhay po kayo.
Ang mga isyong pinag-uusapan, lilinawin at hihimayin natin. On record, sa unang hirit,